Hello everyone, thanks for coming to my masterclass. A lot of it will be hard facts, big numbers. I will skip a lot of stuff, so if you want a presentation afterwards, you can give me your email address, I will send it over to you. I will try to keep it as short as possible while delivering as much information as possible, which is not that easy with a topic like that, because there is I could expand on this for 3 hours. But first, let me introduce myself. I'm Armin Ogasa. I work for DMG, Danmark Music Group. I'm a music industry professional. I'm the YouTube specialist of the company, and I help to utilize the power of YouTube to enhance the artist's online presence, to optimize their reach and monetization. I'm also a label manager, so I'm taking care of labels mostly. And I'm a legal team member, so I'm the bad person that strikes YouTube videos. Let me tell you a little bit about DMG. We're a leading player in the European music industry, especially in Scandinavia. And our services are digital distribution, YouTube channel management. We do custom royalty accounting. We do white label distribution. We do some vinyl pressing. And we also do publishing administration. So, what's today's objective? I'm trying to illuminate the significance of YouTube in the modern music industry and help you grow your YouTube channels. And of course, YouTube's really important in all of this. We will talk about YouTube's reach and influence, YouTube's role as a multi-format platform, and we will go to focus a little bit more on Scandinavia, since there are some challenges in monetization here. So, YouTube has a quite big global reach. As of October 2023, YouTube has 2.491 billion monthly users. So that's bigger than WhatsApp, Instagram, and TikTok. And Spotify, with 574 million monthly users, looks really small compared to that. Also, the web traffic rankings are really great. YouTube is the second most popular website globally, just after Google, with 74.8 billion visits. And the third ranked site is Facebook, with 10.7 billion visits. So YouTube is quite big. Also, YouTube has a big advertising potential in Scandinavia. For instance, in Norway, YouTube reaches 90.9% of the adult population, in Denmark 87.3%, and in Sweden 88.9%. So that's even more than in Germany with 87%, Poland with 74.3%, Italy with 77%, and even the US 77%. And of course, this reflects on the CPMs in some countries. Let's talk about the role as a multi-format platform. So YouTube, of course, is good for video content, music videos, music-related documentaries, and even artist interviews. But it's also good for live streaming. That's something you should keep in mind. So you can do some live concert streams, Q&A sessions, and some behind-the-scenes stuff. Shorts is the competitor to TikTok, basically. And user-generated content is also something really interesting on YouTube. It can be claimed through Content ID, and you can monetize that content. It also helps with building a community through the live chats in the videos and the community tab. And you have more monetization opportunities, not only the ads and Content ID, but you can also use it as a promotion platform to link people to Spotify and other stores. And you can even link back to your merchandise store. However, there's a challenge that with these small populations in Scandinavia, it's really hard to reach monetization goals. In Sweden, or Swedish is spoken by 9.39 million people in Sweden, or 9.8 million people worldwide, which makes a really small target group in the native language compared to, for example, German, which is almost 100 million people worldwide, or English. Yeah? English is the mother tongue of 604.8 million people, and you have even more people who have English as the second languages. And same goes for Spanish. The issue here is you need to have at least 4,000 hours of watch time within 12 months to monetize your channel. That makes 240,000 minutes. That's 48,000 full views of a 5-minute music video. Of course, most people don't watch the whole video. So with an average watch time of 1.5 minutes, that's already 160,000 views. That, of course, is much easier to reach with English content. So the English potential target group is 61 times bigger than the Swedish target group. And of course, you need at least 1,000 subscribers. That should be doable. But first, when we talk about setting up the proper channel, we need to think about a few things. Do you want a label channel or an artist channel? So the pros of a label channel are you can get monetized quicker because you have more content. It can be used to promote new artists. It's easier to manage rather than managing 10, 20 channels. And you can do some label branding on that channel. The cons, of course, are the targeting options. You have a weaker connection to the fan base of the individual artists. It's not an ideal representation of the artists. It's also a worse promotion for other platforms when it comes to merch of these specific artists. And it's extra work if the artist also has its own channel. Let's talk about artist channels now. The pros are, it gives you top artist representation. You have a strong connection to the fan base. It's better targeting whenever you upload a new video. It goes to the right people. It helps in promoting merch on other platforms from this specific artist. And it gives you better artist branding. Of course, as a con, it's more effort to get monetized. Also, let's quickly talk about official artist channels. I bet you've all seen them. They have these little musical notes there next to the name. It helps you that all the releases that are delivered by your distributor are shown also on this artist channel. So you don't need to make music videos or just some simple art track videos for every individual song that you have released. That, of course, only works with an artist channel. It doesn't work with a label channel. I want to give you some tips for label channels now. There's a function I will show you on the next slide. It's about notifying the subscribers. When you notify subscribers, what will happen is that YouTube pushes it to all the subscribers that your label channel has. But if most of your subscribers are interested in artist A, but you release a video of artist B, YouTube will then realize, oh, this video is not getting traction with the subscribers, so I will stop showing it. So you're basically destroying the algorithm with that. If you do not notify the subscribers, you let YouTube decide who to show this video to. Also, you need to think about your content strategy there. less is more. If you upload too many videos, YouTube will stop showing them to subscribers or any other people. And you need to have a clear channel structure when you use a label channel. Here you can see the option that you can deselect this here so that you do not push a new video to all subscribers. So you rather let the algorithm do its thing. Again, less is more. One video every Friday is better than 3 videos every Friday. And YouTube prefers recency. So a music video released on Wednesday will be recommended less when a new music video gets published on Friday. So that is something you need to think about in your content strategy when you have a label channel too. Also, it's good to have a clear channel structure. You can do that by creating playlists, and you can create some, in the top part of your channel, you can create some links to your homepage or your social media. You can work out a little description to help people understand what this channel is about. And then you have some playlists you show of your different artists so that the user, when he comes to your channel, knows, aha, if I press this playlist, if I play this, I can listen to only this artist. Sorry. So of course it makes sense to structure different artists through playlists, as you can see here. And ideally, if the artist also has its own channel, you want to incorporate videos from the artist channel and your label channel in the playlist, so you can help the artist get some traffic on his channel and boost his watch time as well. Now let me give you some tips for artist channels. You should always do regular uploads as an artist. You can do some live streams. You can utilize shorts, connect with the community, and so on and so on. We will go through that shortly. So communicating with the community is really important. That means you use all your other social media opportunities. You can use, even on YouTube, the community tab, but you should also tell people on Instagram, on TikTok, hey, we have a new release coming, or we will do a new release every first Friday for the next 6 months. Stuff like that will definitely help you. You need to communicate that with the fans. Now this here is a big one when it comes to your watch time. Live streams. If you need more watch time, live streams will help you a lot, because even if just 10 people or 50 people are watching a live stream, and the live stream is 2 hours long, that will help you a lot with your watch time. You can do some fun stuff. You can talk about how songs were created. You can talk about how the whole album was created, when the next tour is coming. You can do some Q&A with people. Utilize the chat that the people are using in the live stream, and as an artist, answer to those people. Or you can even make a DJ session. Ideally using your own music, of course. You can also utilize YouTube Shorts. That could be challenges like on TikTok. You can follow trends. And you can react to the community, because sometimes they also post funny videos about you. You should definitely try to connect with the community. So you should ask them for their opinion in the community tab. You can do polls in the community tab. You can also remind them of older songs and say, hey, last year we released this song. What do you think about it now? And you can also share some behind-the-scenes content. You can also promote some more music and merch with the community tab. You can link to a new release. You can link to your merch. And you can take pictures and show your merch. Of course, as an artist, you should also have a clear channel structure. So that means if you have a series of specific songs, you can make a playlist. If you have an album, and I've known artists that made music videos for every single song on an album, you can make a great playlist with that. And if you do some more influencer kind of stuff in between, you can have also a vlogs section. So basically, you should treat YouTube like social media. I know many artists don't want to hear that, and since I'm an artist myself, I hate it too, but yeah. YouTube is also a social media platform and should be treated as such. So now let's talk about why you should join a network. First of all, you can utilize Content ID not only for audio, but also for video. The audio part is usually taken care of through your distributor by delivering to Content ID. But the video part only works if you also are connected to a network. Also, you will get premium monetization from day one. That means even if you have not yet reached the monetization threshold, whenever someone who's a YouTube premium user watches your video, you are already monetizing these views. Also, if your network and distributor are the same and they know what they are doing, they can increase the YouTube music monetization by 50%. Additionally, since you can add more metadata when you are connected to a network, this also helps the search engine optimization for this specific video where you enter the correct metadata. And some distributors and networks do some cross-promotion through campaign cards. That's when people steal your music, it gets claimed via Content ID, and then some distributors do this extra work and say, hey, we can put, for example, we do that for 2 weeks, we can put your new release onto all these stolen videos as a recommendation, so it might help you get some extra views on your new video. Now let me give you some best practices for content creation. Not only should you do some music videos, but also some behind-the-scenes content. You should do live streams and interact with the people to get some watch time. SEO, search engine optimization, and metadata, correct metadata for discoverability is really important. That also means having a good description. You should always check your analytics for engagement and compare different videos. You can utilize community feedback. So when you make polls in the community tab, you can see what people like more, what they like less. And you should do regular uploads. It's always good to have links to merch stores and to your social media. Do some playlisting. And you can also utilize end cards and info cards to make people go to other videos of you. So let's recap here. Scandinavia is really interesting for advertisers, especially since your CPMs are much higher here. So whenever you actually reach the monetization goal, you make more money than people in Spain or even in Germany. And with the right content strategy, you can actually earn money with YouTube. And having the channel in a network, just like with those campaigns, can actually help you a lot. And I have the feeling I really rushed this. I'm sorry about that. Usually it takes double this time. But if you have some questions, feel free to ask now.
CPM, what is that?
The CPM means how much money you get. It's cost per mile. It's how much money you get per 1,000 views. Okay? Keep in mind, only every third view is monetized. So if you make 100,000 views, only 1/3 of them actually has ads in front of it. And for these 1,000 views, you might have a CPM of 4, 5, sometimes 6 euros in Germany. When it comes to Scandinavian territories, you're usually around 8, 9, or even 10 euros per 1,000. When it comes to Spanish-speaking territories, especially Latin America, you're around 2, 250, maybe 3. So up here in Scandinavia, once you reach the monetization threshold, you can actually make much more money because advertisers pay much more to YouTube, since it's a population. They can reach a much broader population here, percentage-wise, compared to the other countries. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I have a few questions.
Go ahead, go ahead. We got time now.
Great. The first one I might have just missed because I was a bit late, but what is a network?
Okay. I'm sorry.
It could be.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Okay, so there are different kinds of YouTube networks. There are those so-called MCNs, then there are content providers. Distributors are usually content providers. So that means they have some specific deals with YouTube where when you connect your channel to their network, you get certain benefits. For example, when I go back in my presentation, I think here, you will be able to enter all this metadata only with a content provider, because when you create the so-called music video asset, an asset is a representation of an intellectual property. That's in the YouTube backend. When you create a music video asset, it creates something in the YouTube backend that is partially video, partially audio, and partially composition. This can create a lot of problems. This can create a lot of problems for other people, especially when you use content that's not yours. That's why YouTube only gives this function away to certain distributors who have these kind of deals in place with them. There are some YouTube networks, but they can only create so-called web assets. A web asset is just a audio-visual representation of something, and that's it. So that means with a web asset, if you put that into Content ID, you will only find stuff that is when someone has stolen audio in combination with video. But if you have a music video asset and everything connected to your distributor properly, you will find when people steal only video parts from you, only audio parts, and if everything is registered with a publishing, with a collecting society or with a publisher, it will also find, Content ID will also find where people actually make covers of your stuff. And because when people register bad data, you can really get into Hell's Kitchen. That's why this is only for distributors, and these distributors have these YouTube networks where they can invite your channels. Does that make it clear a little bit?
I think so, and some
This is something that
the aggregator for streaming platforms, are some of them a YouTube network?
Exactly. Not all of them. Unfortunately, many of them use third parties, which makes it harder to manage all of this, because then you need to, then probably your content, your audio content, will go through a third party that doesn't know who you are as a channel owner, and then all of a sudden you get claims of your own content on your own channel and you cannot monetize yourself. Yeah? So who should you talk to now? This third party Are they going to listen to you? Probably not. So you're going to talk to your distributor. Your distributor is going to talk to the other person. What happens next? Nothing. Yeah. Ideally, you work with a distributor that also has a YouTube network, so everything works fine.
So step one would be to ask them, the distributor, if they have one, kind of, or
Yes, yes.
or for the test.
And you would advise, if so, the distributor maybe old and like not so integrated in the now of is, for instance, like TikTok and all the different channels and YouTube, of course. Would you advise to try to have a look out for another option of distributor, or there is hard, because sometimes my distributor Orchard is for a label, which probably has the same complexity as YouTube has for labels versus personal artists. Yeah, so there's probably when I was thinking now when you were speaking, but they are label based, which means and they have not been bringing in new artists or labels since 2018, which means that they aren't integrated in the new world, sort of, in all of the different. But then you have the positive thing, whereas you can write an email to a real person, which is amazing.
Well, that you can do with us too. Look, not all distributors are the same, and I think I understand that most people want someone they can talk to. I get that. Yeah. That's why we as a company always act like that. Tony, who's sitting there, also works with me. I think almost everyone at our company is an artist as well. So we understand that quite well. However, I know that the Orchard has a YouTube CMS. The question is, do you have someone working there who actually knows how to help you there? And if you don't, then you gotta figure something out.
Yeah. We work with the Orchard and we have really good experience with our YouTube that people.
Yeah, because I really like them when they are able to help with certain channels, not all of them, of course, but it's been nice. The contact has been really good most of the time, depending on if the person is on vacation or not. But
Armin, wasn't it something when we looked for my CMS stuff that was I used to have on the Orchard that it was just entered as compilation or something like that?
That was the problem. Okay, so I really want to unpack this now. Okay, I'm gonna be the bad guy after today, especially in the eyes of the Orchard. The problem is, what many people don't do is this. You see why these have circles here? I just clicked into them, and the same will happen when I click into those, because YouTube actually expects you to enter this metadata once you have the ability to do this. Of course, you can switch to web video, which is just for vloggers, and then you don't need to enter all of this, and your job is much easier and faster. Yeah, you make less money. Yeah, content ID is not gonna work right. Yeah, you're probably also not gonna get any money from your collecting society for this specific video, so a lot of money is lost, but the job is done quicker. Yeah, and when Tony's labels moved over to us from the Orchard, a big part of my work, and it was days of work, was converting these so-called web videos over to music videos. Usually, when this isn't done right the first time, it's even much more work to fix it afterwards. But it's worth it because you will earn more money. It's a copy-paste job, yeah, and many people don't want to do that.
So you're saying that the Orchard they took their labels stuff and just entered it as web.
Yeah, it's easier because when you have a web video, you only have the custom ID field and the video title field, and that's it. So everything below here is not needed to be filled out. But then, since your assets are not connected properly, because think of it this way, a music video, what does a music video contain? It contains a master of an audio, and what's inside that master? Of course, there's the so-called composition or publishing asset, yeah? These three things can only be connected properly if YouTube has this data. Because how should YouTube decide, oh, this belongs to this, if you only enter a video title and have a custom ID? That's not enough, yeah? Plus, that's also part of the increase of the YouTube music monetization. Only when all of this is connected properly, then the music video will connect to the art track video properly. Because when you have the YouTube Music app, you can switch between audio and video playback. And just having this functionality, no matter if users use it or not, YouTube gives you 50% more monetization for these tracks. Just for that. Yeah? That only works if you do this right.
Thank you for clarification. But it's after some amount of
No.
listens or views, or is it like
No,
in general?
YouTube, when you are connected to a network, YouTube Music monetization, and YouTube Music is also a streaming service. That's there from the first stream. Not like with Spotify after 1000, yeah? It's there immediately. And when it comes through your channel and someone uses YouTube Premium, it's also there from the first view. But only if you are connected to a network and everything is filled out properly.
I'll have a look at that. Thank you for the clarification.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hey.
Very interesting this. I had a question regarding the YouTube pitching tool. What do you think about it?
Same as the pitching for everything else, right?
Yeah.
What else should I say?
Yeah, I was just curious since you didn't like.
I think you actually have higher chances than with the other stores. From my experience. Because it's a more algorithmic kind of pitching. So that means when you pitch something, it's not only checking, oh, what's the next release that's coming, but it's checking your whole channel statistics. And if they look good, if you have good watch time, because you do some live streams, for example, and you provide actual videos with some editing quality, and YouTube has algorithms to determine if your editing is good or not, okay? If you do that, the pitching tool will actually check your channel performance, and it's more likely that you will get a positive result than from other platforms. But it's still a lottery.
Yeah.
What's this pitching tool? I know like Spotify pitch.
The pitching tool is only for distributors.
Alright,
So you need to tell your distributor, hey, could you please pitch this for YouTube Music? Ideally, the channel is then connected to their network, and all of this is done right, because YouTube is Google, and Google loves data. So if you provide that, they're gonna love you.
Sorry, I have a lot of questions. So the music video in this context, is that like anything with music? I mean, if you just make a live video of your song, then it's a music video, or is it like a MTV music video?
Exactly. A music video is a real music video. If you make some random video and include music in there, it's a web video. It's more like a vlog.
Even if it's like a concert or a live song.
It depends. Some people do live recordings, and they put these live recordings also onto the streaming services with specific audio files, yeah, where they have a a live version of a song. That then makes more sense to have an official music video for that as well, which gets connected to the audio that's delivered into the backend through your distributor. Yeah?
Yeah, because I'm just working on some live material now that we're gonna make a concert video from. And I really like the Tiny Desk concerts, just because I really like that format. But is it actually better to cut them up in individual songs, from like when you're not Tiny Desk but you're a little artist, tiny artist?
It really depends on your content strategy. If you cut them up, I would suggest... Do you have other content you would post on your channel? First, before we go deeper into that?
No.
Okay, then it's maybe better that you... Then it's maybe better that you cut it into smaller individual videos and release them weekly. And then have build some content strategy around that to get at least a few people to become your fans and wait for the next week's release. Yeah, I would try to do it this way, because if you have one big video that's like an hour and you put it up there and 20 people see it and that's it, that's not really motivating, right? It's better to make a strategy out of the whole thing. Yes?
Yeah, question regarding YouTube Shorts. Because we are working all the channels, of course, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, everything. But can you use the same kind of videos that you use for TikTok for YouTube Shorts? Or do you need to have another special thing there? Because it's, you know, it's a lot of content that is great for different platforms.
Nowadays, music is, or being a musician is 20% music and 80% being an influencer. And you can, of course, repost, but then you don't give any additional value to the people, and then they don't have any reason to come over to the other platform.
I was thinking about languages if you want to build your YouTube channel.
Yeah.
From my fan, we have like most of our fans in Sweden.
Yeah.
But we also have a lot of fans outside of Sweden. So that's always.
Which language is your music in?
Both. So.
You're one of these, huh?
But yeah, so that maybe brings the. That's why we are confused, maybe. But does it work to switch a little bit in YouTube? Do you think, or would
actually you can? Actually, you can localize a lot of stuff on YouTube. Yeah, if you go into the video editor, you will be able to make localized descriptions, etc. You should use that. So. You can do it in both languages then. And there's an example, a friend of mine, it's actually, I don't know if you guys know this band, E Nomine is their name. They did a lot of goth-like, electronic, but also pop-like music in the beginning of the 2000s. And they did it in many, many languages. And what we do with their music videos now, because there were some problems with their old label, so nothing was done in the last 15 years with their music, maybe almost 20 years. And now we are working on that, and we upload their music videos. And what we do, YouTube has a new function. It's mainly used for vloggers and YouTubers. Maybe you realize that sometimes when you listen to the audio track of a YouTube video, you find a YouTube video, it sounds like you can remember, wait, this YouTuber was speaking English before, but why is it speaking my language now? People can have now more audio tracks and videos. And what we do with this band, E Nomine, since they have made their recordings in 8 languages, we also utilized a feature which you can also access in the video manager, where even though it's music, we give it different languages in the audio track. You can just upload a WAV file as a different audio track for the video then. Exactly. And then you have the same song in 2, 3 or more languages. That's something creative you can try as well. Okay, good. Then I guess it's been almost an hour now, so we're fine, right? So thanks for your time.
We could get the thing
Write down my mail address. You can mail me. And then I will send you the presentation slides. Thank you.